Gosh, I never thought that I would say that the spa is so annoying. Anyways, welcome back to some more platform rankings. In case you don't know, I am going through the entire game. I'm going through all of Hollow Knight, and I will be ranking every single individual floating platform. Now, just a little bit of guidelines, right? In case you're not aware of what I mean by this. And I go over this with every video, but I'm going to go over it again. So if this is your first time, cool. If it's not, you've probably heard this like 10 other times. Now, immediately upon entering this area, you'll probably realize, wait, how are you going to do that? Especially on, drawing software. And that's the thing. I'm not. There's only two platforms in this area that I can access, like this. And those two platforms are actually the fight to the Pale Lurker. The Pale Lurker, in case you are curious, is the previous king of the, or I guess, King of Fools, I think, the champion of the Colosseum of Fools. And she holds the simple key, which allows us to get access to Godhelm. That being said, this giant arena is, a unique arena in of its own. She is the only boss, or quote-unquote boss, of this entire game that has such kind of stage layout. And as such, I think that's pretty cool. Now, granted, for a casual, because obviously I want to go over my platform rankings as both a casual and a speedrunning perspective, this platform as a speedrunner is actually kind of annoying. You see, the Pale Lurker will shoot out little spikes that you have to dodge. As a speedrunner, that's not fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not that great. But as a casual, it's like, oh shoot, she's trying to defend whatever it is she's trying to hold on to so desperately. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. So in that regard, I think a 7.5 for both of these is fair. And so now is the time that we are going to transition into the Colosseum of Fools itself. So with that being said, I will see you in game. Ah, there we go. Okay, I was like, why is it not? Okay, there we go. So yeah, something I want to specify is that I do have quality of life downloaded. And, obviously things are going to be a little bit different from here. So here's what I will do. Something that I'm going to specify is, yeah, I'm going to be modding, or not modding, but I'm going to be altering the game ever so slightly. One of the things I want to do is, I have to do this each individually. So there's the Colosseum of Fools. We have the Trial of the, I believe, Warrior. Trial of the, I don't even know. And then we have the Trial of the Fool. So, alright. So, without further ado, let's get started. Upon entering the Colosseum of Fools, we'll have a couple of things. First thing and foremost is just a gauntlet of enemies. What charms do I have equipped? Oh, great. I have Fury equipped. Okay, so right here. I'm gonna get these guys to get off here. This area right here. I guess we can just be here. These are all individual platforms, yes. And I will be ranking each and every one of them. What I think, the leftmost platform, the one all the way over here, pretty nice. I would say this one probably gets like a 4, mainly because we don't really use this platform. This platform is pretty nice though. It is a kind of a safe spot, because you'll notice the first sharp boulder or armored boulder, I did go ahead and land on, like, hidden from below. That's actually intentional, because yeah, they'll end up going above you, and it's also a nice cover. So this one probably like a 6. This one is deceptive because obviously I am zoomed out a little bit, but you don't know that there's another guy right here. And so this one right here probably will get like a 5.5, because you'll see this once you, I guess, like, go up here and you go like, oh, this guy, okay, get out of the way or get hit. And you climb up here and you see another guy and you're like, shoot, he's gonna chase me. And he'll chase you. So it's not that great. This one, 5.5. This one, probably 5. This one is probably a 4. Most likely you're not gonna be up here for any good reason other than you just want to be up here. Because the moment you get here, this guy will start attacking you. And even if you go up here, there's nothing to do. Like, there's the ceiling. That's about it. And with that being said, that's really about it. Not a whole lot to go on there. Alright, next up are these things. And something I want to point out right now is that there are not boulders. There are primal aspids. For a casual, these platforms are really only okay until you get used to moving around the primal aspids, right? This platform here is like lovely. It is great. I'm gonna give this platform, especially for a casual, this platform right here probably deserves an 8. However, these platforms, probably not. Mainly because, well, what are you going to do up here? Go down here? You're going to come down here eventually at some point. So really, this one is the good one. These ones are the lame ones. I will probably give these side platforms probably a 5.5. They're nice when it comes to maneuvering, but not really all that outside of that. And obviously, platforms are always nice when it comes to fighting, primal aspids. These two platforms, however, are pretty good. Because, of course, you want to be above these guys, usually. Because being below them limits where you can move, especially if they're shooting down upon you. It's pretty annoying. So in my opinion, these two platforms probably get like a 6.5. Maybe not like a 7. But they're good. They're good. And of course, in combination with the other platforms, it's also not that bad. Alright, our next group of platforms. I'm going to pause this one real quick as soon as these guys come out. We have a 3-section platform in the middle, and then 2 platforms off to the sides. This middle platform, it's good. Probably gets like a 6. The only reason why I give it a 6 is because after you kill one of these guys, which you can cause them to leap into their death, there's a guy who spawns here. And it's really, really funny because, yeah, these enemies are not that smart. As you can tell, they can just jump off to their deaths. So really, for a casual, if you didn't know that, that's like great information. You don't even have to engage with them. As a speedrunner, I don't speedrun Colosseum, so I don't really have as much of a say as others might. But I think these ones are worth like probably 5.5. They're funny, they're quirky, they're kind of good. It's just funnier to watch these guys leap to their death. Actually, he might land on, yeah. If you get the really odd spacing, they can land on the platform below you, so treat it with care. Our next stage of platforms. Group of 4. And then 2 more groups of 4. I like this one, actually. I like this one specifically because it feels like an arena. Like, it actually feels like a, oh, I gotta maneuver around this area. And there is, yes, lots of ways to cheese this. I'm gonna show you one way I cheese this one a lot, especially with the primal aspid. What I like to do is, I try to get above this primal aspid so he can go downwards. And once he's down there, like he's down here. At this point, I try to make it so that, especially if you have a weak nail, I do it so that he's right about here. You pogo him into the spikes and he instantly dies. And so for that reason, I kind of like this unique stage layout. I'm going to give all these groups of platforms a 7.5. I think it's worthy. No, get down there. Here, let me show you what I mean though. Go down here. Just like that. Now, these 2 platforms, I'm gonna rank as slightly different because, well, no, it's a slightly different phase. So, there are 4 vengeflies that come around you. Very, very easy. I think this one just gets a 5. Nothing really all that important. The Vengefly King. Holy crap, I cannot speak for the life of me. He's just okay. Like, there's not a whole lot. For a casual, yeah, it might be seen as more difficult. For a speedrunner, definitely not. And even for casuals who are getting better at the game, it's not that hard. And I believe that should be all of Colosseum 1. Yep. And they'll throw out money. The money does vary. I think it's anywhere between like 900 to 1100 or something like that. But it does vary. And it's time for Colosseum 2. Ooh, Colosseum 2. I don't remember what it's called, but you know what? Most people just refer to them as Colo 1, Colo 2, or Colo 3, so I don't really think most people care. I mean, if you are a speedrunner who speedruns Colosseum, like, I'm sorry. I'm a speedrunner, I run Pantheons, so I don't really remember this kind of stuff. I also did change my charms. I do like these charms way more. Alright, first and foremost, our next set of platforms. These ones are more of a hindrance, if anything, but I do kind of like them because they do provide a decent amount of cover while also providing a small amount of challenge from these guys, the armored squids. They're not anything bad, but they do limit your movement. So I think for a casual, it might be more annoying, if anything. And even for a speedrunner, I can see this as more of a hindrance. So in my opinion, these are only okay platforms. I will give them a 4. Now, this is where things get interesting, though. Definitely in comparison to that, no, they become much more difficult because, you know, spikes. And then this one. At this point, I'm going to consider this one a slightly different platform because this is the only one you have. And this is a very good platform. This one is now bumped to a 7 because, well, you have to fight the winged fool. And this is your only saving grace, unless you do this the whole time. Which, if you're not great at the game, this is more annoying and very, very risky. Now, eventually, you will get the hang of things. And coming from someone who did False Knight Kaizo hit lists, if you ask me, this is pretty docile. But there is still the cheese strat. You can lure him down here, ow, and get hit. You can lure him down to the spikes, and then just pogo him once. If I can get him to do that. Although I think, oh, okay. Well, you can do that. Okay, before these guys spawn in, I believe these are primal aspids. These are really difficult. So I'm just gonna explain this one as best I can. Actually, you know what? I'm a gamer. I can do this. I'm gonna get rid of this guy first, though. Okay, they just keep on coming. I'll just get rid of you. Okay. This platform here, I actually really like this one. Reason is because of this little lip right there. This thing protects you from these guys. The infected gruzzers, I think. I don't remember what they're called. But as you can see, it's a pretty small window. It's uncommon. Granted, it just happened. It's uncommon for you to get hit here, because you can easily just knock him back. So I like this one. This one will get a 7. This one is a little bit more risky because obviously these things drop the infection on you, and you know, if you're the higher you are without any ceiling protecting you, the worse it is. So this one, in my opinion, probably just gets a very, very humble. Oh my gosh, guys, I need to get up there. Oh my gosh, I'm recording something here. Can you leave? Thank you. This one will probably just get like a 6.5. The topmost one, kind of very similar ranking. 6.5 probably, but it does have the added bonus that it is the highest platform. So it's not very common for something to be that much above you, which means it's, again, a smaller area. This middle one is the hub. Well, I guess this middle one as well as the one beneath us. This is like the hub. You will spend all of your time either on this one or this one. There's like no in between. And it's fairly good. I like this one. This one, oh my gosh. This one probably gets like a 7, if not anything higher. This one is also pretty nice. Very small window. You have a ceiling above you. Pretty good. I will probably give this one probably a 7. I think that's worthy. This one, can't say the same. Probably like a 6 or a 6.5. Same deal with the other ones. It's too tall. It's too high up there. And that's roughly about it for this phase. They'll all disappear, except for these ones. In which case, you have to fight this guy. Now, for a casual, this is not great. Right? These guys are low-key pretty hard. They have a deceptively very long range. But, he's not that bad, especially if that happens. And then this. The bell flies. But once you realize you can just do this, those platforms become more optional and not that great. So really, those 2 extra platforms to make this one big platform, I'm gonna give it like a 3.5. You can cheese your way out of this. You can just run off to the side. It's not that impressive. I'm not gonna lie. But that's where I stand on those. Alright, this platform, I don't like it. It's only there for that winged fool. It's kind of lame in my opinion. So, yeah. That one's probably like a 2.5 at best. Its whole purpose there is for one enemy and one enemy alone. When you consider that, it's like kind of lame. And look, another one even came out and we don't even have the platform. So it's even less important. Alright, so here is something that is kind of interesting. As you can tell, there's no platforms here. Except during this time. If you fall into the spikes, a platform will pop up to save you. / for you to respawn. Because obviously, if you get stuck in the spikes, you will continuously get hit by the spikes. However, because of this, I actually think this is a fan-frickin-tastically, like, genius platform. This, in my opinion, gets a 9. Because, like, again, it's not broken, it goes away, but every time you do fall into the spikes, you are saved slightly. You know, you can see it pop up, and it's not like it lasts forever either. Like, you can't just camp out on it. So I think it's very well balanced. That one gets a 9 in my book. Alright, these platforms. A little bit more annoying, especially because, you know, we have the winged fools. And then there's only these 3 platforms, but it's not that difficult. For a casual, it might be more annoying and difficult, but once you start getting good at the game, it's probably not that big a deal. So, in my opinion, all 3 of these will probably just get like a, probably like a 5.5. Nothing too special, nothing too big. I mean, don't get me wrong. It does make this section way easier than if you had only one, but it's not like your life-saving platform either. This gets pretty interesting. These enemies, I believe, are, I think they're called obels. Or armored obels or something like that. But they shoot out an X pattern, and every time you hit them, example, I just hit them. Every time you hit them, they will attack. But because it does make them very, very predictable, this platform arrangement is actually really nice. It's really good for both casuals and pretty good for like speedrunners, because it provides a good amount of difficulty moving around, but it's not like too difficult to find it more annoying and overbearing. And once you kill 2 more take its place. And then I believe once you delete these guys, I think 4 more will pop up and the floor will disappear, or aka there'll be spikes. Yep. But it is pretty nice. Another way you can easily like insta-kill these guys is to pogo them into the spikes. It's a little bit more difficult because they do bounce off. So you might have to be a little bit more precise in how you do it, but they're pretty good. I like this. All of these ones probably will get like a 7.8. I don't want to give it an 8, so I think, but I don't want to give it a 7.5 either. I feel like 7.5 is slightly low. So 7.8. I think that's a reasonable location. These guys are the Oblobbles. One of the bosses in the Pantheon, one of my banes of the Pantheons. Because they're hard, and they shoot fast. But, not bad. And that is the end of Colo 2. Again, just like with Colo 1, the amount of money you'll get is slightly dependent. I think it's anywhere from 1,800 to 2,200 or something like that. So it's not bad. Pretty good. But on to Colo 3. Colosseum 3, also known as the Colosseum of Fools, or Trial of the Fool, is by far the longest and the most difficult one. Like, I will say, I think the Oblobbles are a little bit more difficult than the boss of this one, but there's still a lot of good challenge. And just like before, I'll be going over all the platforms found in this area, or in this section. Alright, our first platforms. This thing. And I'm going to say this right now, if you don't get rid of that Aspid, and if you're not careful enough, you will get hit by this. So these platforms are perfectly placed. Because, as you can probably tell, there are spikes coming out of the ground, which will do that. And, of course, this is where your next little portions of the phase are going to be. Overall, I'd probably give these ones like a 7. They're pretty nice. However, they have one big flaw, and I'll go over that once it kind of shows up. But the biggest flaw, the nice thing about this one, right? Because obviously there's good things about this. It's a nice platform. You can move around on it. It's pretty good. Even for casual, it's pretty nice. Where I believe it fails, like where I believe it doesn't do well, is not this part, but the next part. Oh, am I wrong? Oh, I got it confused. I thought the platforms were there during this phase. But yeah, in case you didn't know, you can just hide up here. I thought it was... okay. In that case, those platforms probably gets like a 7.5 then. I think that's fair. This is where things get really hecking annoying. And I'm gonna get here before anything else happens. These... I don't know. All I remember is that we call them frogs. And these ones are the armored frogs. Here's the issue though. They will bounce around. And they don't really have a pattern as to where they'll go next. So these platforms are either the most annoying thing in the world, or the best thing in the world. And the safest platform is this one right here. Objectively, this is the safest one. Because if you're up here, it's very unlikely that any of the frogs will be able to reach you up here. Granted, yeah, it can happen. And because, you know, they do aim at you eventually. This is just the safest one because they have to climb up here in the first place. So I think this one definitely gets a 7.5. This one probably gets like a 6. Because, you know, it's out there in the open. Most people probably don't go to the side ones anyways. So the two side ones, both of them will get a 6. But it's the bottom one. This one will get a 7.5. Reason is because you can just do this. You can just... if anyone approaches, you attack them. And if they land on top of it, just do this. So I think this is a very good platform. Even for casuals, you can just hit them through the platform. It's pretty safe. So I like this one. Alright, this part. Low-key, one of my favorite parts. It's a little bit hard to judge this one. Because, well, sure, you can say that all 4 of these are individual platforms, and I would agree with that. The issue is, I think they're all roughly the same, in my opinion, except for this one. There's really no point in going up here. Like, I feel like if you had these 3, that would have been good enough. But they decided to add a 4th, and I don't know how I feel about that. So, in my opinion, we only needed the 3. But having the 4th was also kind of cool, I guess. So, who knows? That might just be me. I will give all of these a 6 because they are difficult. Trying to maneuver things around these platforms, especially if you're a casual, is pretty difficult. So I'm going to say this is about a 6 for its difficulty. Now, the other thing is that I want to give this one a 5.5 because it's kind of lackluster. There's not a whole lot going for it. So, that's that. And of course we have the Gargapede segment. Always kind of cool. Part where there's this. I'm just gonna jump up here and showcase everything. A lot of these ones are not the worst, but this guy, I think his name's like Volt Twister or something like that. He is actually annoying, and that makes this segment not that fun. Just like the same issues kind of arise with all of these platforms. The ones off way to the side are kind of forgotten, like this one. Like, I don't think in my life I've actually landed on that platform other than now. And then this platform, again, not that important. I'll probably give these ones like a 4. Because they are out of the way. Like, you're not going to go them naturally unless you just intentionally go for them. Because you'll go here and you'll go here. You're naturally not going to go here because it is a dead corner. Which is what we want to avoid in every scenario. This top platform is not bad, it's just out of the way. So it's not like it has a whole lot of bad stuff with it, it's just not helpful. So this one, probably like a 5.5. But it's the middle 3, this one, and this one, that get the most mileage. They are like, so nice. You use them all the time. And as you can probably tell, I am using these ones quite a bit because simply they're the central ones. They're the ones that you will use the most. And so for that reason, this one will definitely get the left one. I feel like I use the left one the least often, mainly because right here, right where I'm standing, this is roughly where the not Soul Master. The guy will spawn. And so because of that, this platform here is good. Unlike this platform, which I think another Volt Twister will spawn like right here-ish, which actually makes it more annoying. Because if you're right there, there's a chance you get hit instantly. And that's never fun. So this one, probably like a 6.5. This one's probably like a 6.5. That middle bottom one, definitely a 7. So that's where I put those. And more floorless sections. Just like in the Colo 2 though. Nail, why aren't you working? Well, I guess that's a good time to start it off. Just like in Colo 2, there is a platform that will save you if you fall into the spikes. It'll keep you from just racking up too much damage. Bro, my nail button is not working. Follow me in any of my speedruns, you'll know that I actually do have a problem with that. My nail button or key will occasionally just not work, and I'm hecking annoyed. Oh god. Ah, finally. Okay. And these platforms, pretty good. Only issue here is, I'm gonna pause before that one all the way at the top hits me. These platforms are nice. Only issue is we have armored frogs. And they are annoying as heck, as you'll see. Because now that you don't have a floor, you're only limited to one of these things. Trying to move between one or the other will most likely get you hit. And that's not fun. So here's what I say. These platforms I'm actually going to group all together as one individual platform. Because you're not going to move from one platform to the other. You're going to be stuck here on whichever one you are currently standing on. Which is most likely the middle one. So I'm going to give them, I want to say a 4.5, mainly because it's not fun. Even as a speedrunner, when I look at this, unless I know exactly how these frogs will move, it doesn't seem like a very fun sequence. So I'm just going to say, yeah, this is adequate at best. But due to the annoyance and how much you actually might get hit, I'm going to say this is a 4.5. So that's where I rate this. And obviously, in terms of difficulty of dealing with these frogs, it's questionable at best. Because you can just, they can just land in the spikes, which is always a fun time. I can guarantee you this is indeed the last one. I only remember this because I did this invisible And all of the enemies were invisible as well, which means there's only the God Tamer left. But that's it. Not necessarily hard, but still fun. As a casual, this might be a very annoying boss, but slow things down. You don't have to rush, and you'll be fine. And this one will easily get you the most amount of money. I believe this one will range anywhere from 2,800 to 3,000, somewhere around there. But that's all of Colosseum. It's fun. I like it. It's good. Say hi to the little fool. And yeah. But this is where I would rank things. And granted, this is my personal opinion. I'm trying to see this from both a speedrunner's perspective and a casual perspective. So if there's something you disagree with, that's completely fine. Just let me know. Because I want to treat it as objective as possible. So if there's something you agree with or something you don't agree with, comment. Let me know. Do you agree with this one or do you not agree with this? And then, of course, as usual, I have been Facade. This is my platform rankings of Colosseum of Fools. I hope you have a good rest of your day or your night, depending on your availability. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.